Miss Stevens, It Had to Be You, Raw are the names of the 3 movies that I'm talking about today. Oh my God, that's not the order I'm talking about it in. I feel really bad for saying that, but it's funny, so I'm sticking to it. Oh my God. Other stubbies. Raw. This is a 2017 French movie directed by the same woman who directed Titan, French movie from this year that I thoroughly enjoyed. That movie was all kinds of bonkers. This one is also all kinds of bonkers, but in different ways. Oh God. And I really loved it. The basic premise is, it is about this girl who goes off to veterinary school, but they are a hard partying school with a lot of very intense hazing rituals that goes back for generations. So, needless to say, our protagonist is having a pretty rough time, but she develops some interesting coping mechanisms. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, this movie is definitely a slow burn movie, but it's also a very intense body horror movie. So I actually really enjoyed this movie. It made me very disturbed at times. At one point, I was legit like cowering behind my hands. Like I couldn't look at the entire screen, but I had to keep watching because it was just so so gross. This is probably some of the most messed up body horror stuff I've seen. Like it's not that crazy to think about it, but it was just, those images are gonna be stuck in my head. Just the way it was done. It lingers on those shots. So it's like you really want it to cut away and move on to the next thing, but it refuses to do so. Because screw you, you need to feel this. The movie gets an A+ for manipulating my emotions. So yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. I don't recommend it though, unless you can handle slow burns and really intense body horror. Because it's not for the squeamish, to say the least. Ugh. Next up is It Had to Be You. The name of the movie is based on the song. The song is the theme of the movie, and it plays an important role in the movie, and it was really cute. This is a 2016 rom-com starring Christine Milioti, and it is super adorable. The basic premise is boyfriend about to propose to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend notices what's happening right before he does it, and then she just bolts out of there and then spends the rest of the movie trying to figure out what the hell she wants to do with her life. Like, do I want to get married, or do I want to live? What do I want to do with myself? Do I want to tie myself down to just one person forever? Do I want to go travel a bunch? What do I want to do with myself? Am I happy with my work? Am I happy with everything? Does my work define me as a person? It's all of those questions, and I super related to pretty much all of them. Christine was the main highlight of the movie. She carried the entire thing. Her adorableness was just peak the entire way through. It's a very, very cute movie. Where I really dock this movie are all of the supporting cast. The movie needs either like her boyfriend character or her best friend character to be closer to her level, and they're just not. They're not bad, but like, they really bring the movie down by not matching her. And I'm sure they didn't cast a recognizable face in either of those roles to keep the budget down, but it honestly did the movie a disservice by not casting at least one of those roles with a somewhat recognizable actor. It could have helped this movie a lot. I would mostly recommend it if you're a big fan of rom-coms. It's a really cute one with an interesting take on the genre. And I would also recommend it if you just like have a big crush on Christine Milioti. She is prime adorable in this, and it feels great. I hope you like it more than I did. And I did like it a good solid amount. And lastly is Miss Stevens. This is a 2016 movie, and the basic premise is it is about this really sad and lonely 30-something English teacher who is tasked with taking a small group of drama students to this drama competition. But one of them, played by Timothée Chalamet, is kind of a weirdo outcast, and he may or may not have a big crush on Miss Stevens. Now, What I don't like about this movie is the sexual tension between this, let's say, 17-year-old and 30-year-old. It feels really wrong and awkward, and I think it does the movie a very, very big disservice because it touches on a lot of deep, meaningful, personal stuff that is all sidelined by this awkward sexual tension that, like, it makes it so that these characters can't enjoy this cathartic moment because there is this level of inappropriateness that's also happening while they are healing through their tragedies, wounds. It just undercuts everything, and it's really frustrating. I think what could have really helped this movie is if Miss Stevens and the main student had been the same gender. Yes, gay people exist, but I think it would alleviate a lot of that sexual tension, and we could have just more so focused on these two people being able to help each other, with the teacher basically helping the student by letting the student help the teacher, which is a really interesting idea that definitely has lots of real-world applications. But again, the sexual tension there makes everything so muddy and gross, and it just, ugh. I did end up putting this movie in the liked category. It was entertaining, but it just, the execution wasn't the best. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Raw sitting at number 37 in the really like section. And then a seemingly long ways down is It Had to Be You, sitting at number 89 in the quite like section. And then bringing up the rear, an actual long ways down, is Miss Stevens, sitting at number 186 in the liked category. And this is out of a total of 250 old movies so far this year. And that brings the grand total out of all the movies I've seen so far this year up to 315.